All right, what is up, my people? I wanted to drop a quick video for you guys just to, kind of talk about how I was able to manifest over a $22,000 month in August of 2019. And basically I made 17,500 from kind of like a side hustle, and then I made like $5,000 from like my normal salary job. So I guess this is going to kind of be like all over the place, a couple of tangents. Either way, if this does make it to YouTube, smash that like button. And a couple of things with that. One, it's just good karma for you, right, to help others. Something I do a lot of times on YouTube when I just want to support people is like smash that like button. The other thing is that you want to start to kind of hack the YouTube algorithm to start giving you content like this, right? Because this is the stuff you want to start programming into your subconscious. So that's another important thing. Either way, if this makes it on YouTube or doesn't, smash that like button. All right, so to get into the gist of it, how I manifested, $17,500 month plus, and how can you also manifest things you want in your life, including money. So basically a lot of people, probably if you're watching this video, have watched or seen The Secret and kind of know the law of attraction. So this is something that I've been into for quite a while now. I remember skipping school in high school and smoking weed at a friend's house, and his brother was like, man, you guys gotta watch this documentary. It's like blah, 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 and it ended up being The Secret. And that's kind of the first time I got introduced to it. And then I've watched it numerous times in different years of my life, and I just always get like goosebumps when I watch it. It's just such this like profound thing to me, and I've gotten really just obsessed with the fact of law of attraction and being able to like deliberately manifest and create my own reality. So I really went down this rabbit hole, and it wasn't until about 15 months ago last year I actually went down to Florida and started working for a guy who is really successful. This guy had a result that I wanted. I'm really big into like digital marketing and sales funnels. So this guy had actually an award, which maybe some of you guys know. This guy, Russell Brunson, runs ClickFunnels, and there's a 2 Comma Club award for doing over $1 million in a sales funnel. Long story short, I met a guy through him who introduced me to some information that really kind of connected the dots for me for the missing stuff on law of attraction and how I could manifest specifically money. In the past, I've been able to manifest certain things, which obviously super grateful for and super cool, but being broke isn't that cool, right? And before all of this, and before I like start releasing more and more of this really powerful information, you have to know that the goal behind making money is really just to feel good. The goal behind any desire that you would like to achieve is that you think by achieving that desire, it'll make you feel good. So just understanding that, I don't know if I would call it like the purpose of life, but really like is to feel good. At least in my opinion, and kind of what I've figured out through this like journey of like personal development, spiritual development, kind of whatever you want to put a name on it or call it. Just kind of getting into these techniques, just know that you're not actually after the money. You're just after the feeling that the money will give you, right? So I think that's an important thing to note as I'm going to start releasing more and more of this information. And as I'm going to start releasing more of this really powerful information, how you can essentially manifest and create your own reality, which is going to make you feel really empowered. It's going to make you feel really good, which is what really, as humans, I think we yearn for. Is just like a feeling, and it's a good feeling. You want to call it bliss or excitement, or there's a bunch of different like names you can put on feelings, but there's good feelings and there's bad feelings, and I think the purpose is to live and thrive and feel good. So having this ability to manifest and create your reality really makes you feel good. Another thing to realize with this, as we start going over these powerful techniques, how to manifest and create your reality, is it's not actually the thing that you manifest. It's interesting because I really went through this, especially after I made a really, to me, a very significant amount of money. I was someone who, never really had a lot of money. I worked in sales, and I had some good months. I had some, I was making 40, 50 grand a year or whatever. But I was in debt. I had dumb credit card debt, so on and so forth. So what it kind of got down to is after I paid off all my debt, and I have, almost over, 40 grand in my account right now. I was actually the least happiest in my life. And 15 months ago, when I was the brokest I'd ever been, I was 10 grand in debt and really had no income coming in. I kind of was in job transitions, and then I went down to Florida, and then what we were selling kind of fell through, and we were in this transition period where we were going to start selling something else. But it was this point where I was just broke. Like I didn't have anything coming in. I was 10K in debt. All my credit cards were maxed out. But I was literally like the happiest I had ever been. It's kind of funny. And really, like, my, like, soul mission, I feel, and just, like, my chief aim, we can go into Think and Grow Rich and talk about having a chief aim, but I really, really just want to help millions of people achieve their dreams, goals, and ambitions, really through understanding the power of their mind. And really, the mind is what activates the law of attraction intentionally. The law of attraction is always working for you. It's just that, like, if you are consciously and intentionally kind of pushing the law of attraction to bring you what you want, which is what over the last 15 months I learned and applied and got the result. Like I always really wanted to talk about this stuff, but I felt kind of like a fraud, right? Because there's actually this guy, Joe Peters, shout out to him. You should go check out his YouTube video if you're interested in like stocks or real estate. But he talks about, there's a lot of people selling courses on how to make money, but like they make their money. And a lot of people talk, like a lot of real people that are wealthy talk about this. Like there's a lot of people making money, like just selling courses, which I just felt like a fraud if I was to do that, right? Like, how am I going to teach on the law of attraction if I haven't been able to actually manifest a significant amount of money in my life, right? So now that I have manifested a significant amount of money, at least to me, I think to a lot of people as well, like to have 40 grand and not be in any type of debt at all would be pretty great. So I feel like I'm at a point where like I've been able to manifest certain things, but the thing about money is that it's measurable, right? So like I was able to manifest a decent amount of money. Like a lot of people don't make 22 some grand in a month, right? And that's what I was able to do August 2019. So now I really want to talk about this and kind of share my story. It's what gets me going. It's really what fulfills me, right? And that's another thing. It's not like me manifesting the desire of, helping millions of people achieve their dreams, goals, and ambitions through the power of their mind and activating the law of attraction. It's really the journey, right? It's really that, like, it's a big goal, right? A million's a lot of people. And just to be able to understand all this and then articulate it in a way that other people can take it and then apply it and get results themselves is really just a beautiful thing and a hard thing to do. And I'm really excited. And it's kind of just what I feel I'm here to do. So I'm excited to kind of went through my journey, got into a point where I feel like I can now like talk and teach on these things and not be a fraud because I've actually gotten results. Another thing is I don't plan to sell any type of course, right? Like I'm going to apply this stuff in my life and make money. Like right now I'm in the process, I'm kind of in real estate and like sales and marketing. Like I'm working on starting up a brokerage in New York. I had this like really great partner come in my life who has a lot of real estate in New York and is kind of needs someone to find tenants to fill his buildings. It's a very lucrative business and he already also has a lot of connections in the industry where not only can I scale the tenant side of things, but I can also kind of look for some really good off-market deals. I don't want to get too deep into real estate, but there's a way that I can have with very little money. 40K is not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but I can start getting equity in these deals and like really kind of like jump my net worth quite significantly. So really grateful for that. But the reason I say that is because I'm not going to be like trying to get you to buy a course to learn this stuff. I'm just going to teach this stuff because as I'm teaching it, it's also really significantly helping me, right? Because like as I teach it, I learn more about it myself. And like I don't need to make money through selling courses. I can make money actually applying this in my real life and just making money from doing this brokerage thing or really anything, right? Like you don't need to know how you're going to make money. You just need to know you're going to make money. And like you have to shift into this out of a poverty mindset and into this abundance mindset that we can get more deeper into later. And I'm going to kind of be all over the place, and this is going to kind of be like a scramble video, and I'm going to start making more content on YouTube kind of weekly, like probably 2 times a week. I'm going to kind of take a topic within this grand scheme of like law of attraction, manifestation, and feeling good and being present and spirituality and all this stuff, and kind of like go deeper into stuff twice a week. So if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button. Consider hitting subscribe if you want to be a part of this tribe where we're all kind of understanding that we create our reality with our mind, and we want to kind of better our ability to do this because once you understand that no one's coming to save you, it's all up to you. That's a big shift and it's a big responsibility. But that really sets you in motion to be in control and be in power and just like take control and create the reality that you truly desire. So now to actually get into like the gist of kind of how I did this, probably make a deeper video on the exact details of this, but just to kind of give you guys a general overview. So kind of step one for me is, realizing that you create your reality, right? So like I got introduced to The Secret and the law of attraction. I started to understand that like my thoughts create things, right? But that was 10 years ago. And like up until 9 years, I really couldn't manifest a lot of money. So the second thing is kind of understanding why you're broke in the first place, right? This was something I just got realized, that I realized like kind of recently, about a year ago. A friend of mine, shout out Zen Wizard, introduced me to a book called, I might pronounce it wrong, but basically it's called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind: How to Master the Inner Game of Wealth by T. Harv Eker, or something like that. But mainly the most important thing about this book is understanding that we're subconsciously programmed from the age 0 to 7. We're always being subconsciously programmed, but the thing about 0 to 7 is that your brain as a child is in an alpha state, and it's very susceptible to suggestion. So if you grew up in a family like mine, like we weren't poor by any means. We were like, I would say like a little bit upper middle class probably. My mom works for the government. She makes, over 100 grand a year. My dad's a carpenter. He probably made 40, 50 grand a year, whatever. So we lived like a comfortable life. But there was there was always kind of lack, right? It wasn't like, money grows on trees, yada, da, da, da. But like a big shift happened for me when the housing market crashed. My dad was a carpenter. My mom had the capital, so they were buying and flipping houses before the housing market crashed. And I don't know, but back when it crashed, I think it was like 2008 or whatever. So yeah, it went from like, being able to get, pretty much whatever, to like not having money from McDonald's, right? So like, I don't know what exactly it was, but I essentially grew up like not with a abundance mindset, right? It was very much a poverty mindset. So, and that's what a lot of people are, right? Like that's why the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. It's because like, a lot of things like are passed down generation by generation, right? And that's why I really am passionate about this, because I've been kind of like been able to break out of that. That's another thing too, is like making money doesn't make you rich, contrary to what most people believe, right? So it's like not really about how much money you make. So you can make 100, 200 grand a year, but if you spend 110, 210, you're still 10 grand in debt, right? So the guy who spends 50 grand a year and then only, makes 50 grand a year, but only spends 30 grand, and he has 20 grand at the end of each year is, actually a lot richer than the person that makes 200 and spends 210, right? So that's a big cognition that a lot of people, need to realize, and it's something I recently realized like really over the past like 6 months, and it really accelerated my ability to manifest a large amount of money, because money at the end of the day is a very spiritual thing. It really is. Money is in a sense made up. It's not even really real, right? So at the end of the day, money is a lot less logical than people think, and it's a lot more spiritual. So the quickest and easiest way to attract money into your life and create more abundance in your life is really like liking money. And when I say liking money, it's not like being in love with money. Like you have to love money, but not be in love with money, right? So what that means is you have to take care of money, right? It's kind of like a woman, right? So it's like a woman wants a man who's going to take care of her, right? Well, money wants someone who's going to take care of it. So if you're just getting money and spending it on dumb stuff that's not creating more money in your life, money doesn't want you, right? But if you're someone who takes care of money, money comes in and you save it, you're careful with it, and then most importantly, you find ways to multiply it, then more money is going to want to come to you, because money feels like it's going to be taken care of when it comes to you, right? So just to reiterate, first thing is that you understand law of attraction, right? That you are creating your own reality. So if you don't have money, it's your fault. If you don't have what you want in life, it's your fault. And that's a hard thing to gather, and I might lose some people there, but it's fine. We can keep working on it. But essentially, law of attraction states that you are the creator of your reality, right? So your thoughts create things. Secondly is that, a lot of reasons most people don't have a lot of money right now is because they're have poverty thinking, right? So like 0 to 7, you're in this alpha state, and a lot of people don't grow up wealthy, or not even necessarily the amount of money, but really just the thinking that goes behind money, right? So that's secondly. Thirdly is money is spiritual, right? So money wants to know that if it comes to you, you're going to take care of it, right? So when you start taking care of money, and really what that means is like living below your means and then finding ways to multiply your money, right? So like if you're making, for example, $2,500 a month, then you should try to spend as least of that as possible and save and stack money and look for opportunities to grow your money. May that be like in the stock market, real estate, buying something and flipping it, whatever it may be, finding ways to multiply your money. So when you have those three things, you're in the right track, and you're doing really well. The fourth thing that really helps is being out of debt. So I was in credit card debt, which is really the worst debt. Like student loan debt is like not so bad. Like if you have a mortgage, not so bad. Credit card debt is, especially my type of credit card debt, where it was just on like dumb liabilities that I spent the money on, and then on top of that I was paying like 20-25% interest on this 10 grand that I had racked up in credit card debt. It really holds your vibration down with money. So yeah, the most important thing, fourthly, you can do is either get out of debt completely rapidly start paying down your debt. That's the best investment you can make with your money that you're living below your means with, and you're stacking your money, right? So if you're making $2,500 a month and you're spending, say, $1,500 a month, you're saving $1,000 a month. That $1,000 should be going down to pay your $10,000 debt, right? Which was kind of like my case. So then in 10 months, you can be out of debt. And then during that time, for me, I wanted to accelerate it. I literally did not spend money for 6 months. Like I didn't go out. Like I tried to like eat as frugal as possible, and I just didn't buy anything. Like I didn't buy any new clothes, any new shoes, like nothing. The most important thing, because I knew that if I wanted to accelerate my wealth, if I wanted to manifest a lot of money, I had to get out of debt, or I had to be in the process of paying down my debt as fast as possible. And it's funny because the month that I paid off my debt was July. And the month that I manifested $17,500 in 1 month was August. So it has a specific correlation to, again, money's spiritual. So money's like, wow, this dude like really like, buckled down, paid off his debt, like blah, 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 blah. Now we like feel more comfortable coming to him, right? Okay. So again, first, law of attraction, understanding thoughts create things. Secondly, understanding that subconsciously programmed. Third is that money is spiritual. And then fourth is paying down your debt. Now, fifth, we get into the good stuff, and I'll make deeper videos about this stuff. I just kind of want to get this out. I talked about it previously on Instagram. I showed a screenshot of my bank account, and people wanted to hear about it, so I want to talk about it. I want to be more on YouTube as well. I'm not a big fan of like Instagram and Facebook anymore. I think YouTube's really great, actually, so I'm going to be coming out more and more stuff about this because I really want to talk about it, and I also really have the result, right? That's another thing. Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. Is basically like you need to listen to people that have the result you want and have been where you were. So if you're someone who, maybe you're in debt, or maybe you don't have a lot of money, maybe you're not making a lot of money, and you see me and I'm somewhere who was also there, and now I have what you want. Maybe you want to have 30, 40 grand in your account. Maybe you want to start making, money easier. Maybe you want to start feeling better, whatever it is. Just look for people that have been where you were and now have what you want. And then, they can tell you how to get where you want to be because they are where you want to be and they've been where you're at. So that's my rant on that. But fifth thing, and this is in Think and Grow Rich, and you guys should definitely read that book. Definitely one of the must reads in kind of the personal development space. But fifth, is like deciding the amount of money that you want. And now this is a big thing that I really messed up on for 9 years, because in the movie The Secret, the guy Jack Canfield puts up $100,000 bill, and like every morning he wakes up and he visualizes 100,000. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna do that with $1 million. So I took $1, put it up on a wall for the longest time, like 2-3 years. I had this thing, I had the vision board, I had everything, right? And it was too far out for where I was at. I was $10,000 in debt. I was making at the time maybe 30 grand a year doing door-to-door sales. How am I making $1 million, right? It's not that I couldn't have. I just didn't believe it. That's the main thing, is the belief. The Magic of Believing is a really good book I read this year. It's fantastic. It's the belief. Like, that's really what creates it. If you can believe it, you can achieve it, right? Napoleon Hill says, anything the mind of man can bring itself to believe, it can achieve, right? So it's really the belief. So the number needs to be believable. It doesn't need to be realistic. Like it wasn't realistic for me to make $17,500, right? Where I had never made more than $3,500 to $5,000 a month, right? So $17,500 really was like $22,000 if you include my salary for my job. Which is sick for me to talk about. I'm so grateful to have had that result in my life and to like have created that and now be able to share how I did it with you guys. And we go really into depth of how I did all this stuff in other videos, but this is just giving the overview for now. So fifth, you really need to decide how much money, but the amount needs to be like realistic. And how can you tell it's realistic is that you feel good about it, but it also gets you excited, right? I don't know why the amount 17,500 came into my mind, but it was a number that I felt was like realistic, but it was also big enough to get me excited, right? Like 17,500, like who do you know that makes $17,500 in a month? I don't know a lot of people. Like I know a couple, don't get me wrong. I'm friends with a couple, but like your average Joe is not making $17,500 in a month, right? So that was an amount that I felt, but like it felt realistic. Like I didn't feel bad, and like that's not logically, but like feeling. Like I felt good, and that's the most important thing, to tap into your feeling. Like you have to feel good about the number, not logically know how you're gonna do it. And don't worry about the how either, because it's interesting. I was trying all these like sales funnels and network marketing and all this other stuff that I was like trying to manifest money over the last year. And it's funny because it happened within my current opportunity, right? It just happened with like a little bit of a pivot of what I was already doing, which was like running this co-living company and doing all the sales and marketing and like all that stuff. But anyway, so basically, yeah, make the number realistic, and it's like, don't even make it realistic, but make it so it like is believable. It's the belief, not realistic. It's the belief. Make it so you can believe it, right? And maybe right now for you that's like 500. Maybe it's 5,000. Maybe it's 3,500. Maybe it's 20 grand. Whatever. So think of the specific amount. Now, when you think of that amount, it needs to be feeling good, and it needs to get you excited as well. So those are the two things with that. And then from there, you have to let go of the how. Don't worry about how it's going to come about. You want to start seeing the amount in your bank account. So specifically, every time before you go to bed is really the most strongest time to do this. Reason being, two things. One, you're in the alpha state right before you fall asleep, which is, again, remember we learned from 0 to 7, where our subconscious mind is most susceptible. And I'll really go into the subconscious mind later, because that's really where all this shit happens. But yeah, so basically, you want to do this before bed. You want to envision the amount and feel the feeling of having the amount. Because remember, that's what we're actually after when we're looking to manifest this stuff. It's not the actual money. It's not the girlfriend or the car. It's the feeling that we get from obtaining those things. Now, the critical thing is, though, if you want those things, you just got to feel as you would feel having those things, and then you'll be on the same vibrational frequency. Nikola Tesla, right? If you want to understand the universe, think in terms of vibration and frequency, right? So that's what it is. Your brain emits frequency, and the universe will match this frequency, right? So you're vibrating a frequency like I was for having 17,500, and the freedom and the just like the security and like the confidence that comes with having over 20 grand in your account. Like it feels good. And like every night before I would go to bed, I would see the amount in my bank account. Like I have Navy Federal, so like I know what the app looks like, and I would see it. Like you have photographic memory, right? So like just see it like in your mind's eye, right? See the amount, and then most importantly, feel the feeling of having the amount. Okay. And now what the book talks about is like actually think about what you would spend it on. But for me, I actually didn't want to spend it. Like I just wanted to have it to feel good, to like feel secure. And even now that I have it, I haven't spent any of it, right? Because it's like I'm gonna start tactically starting to spend some of it, because that's how you got to make money, right? So like that is critical. Is like I am starting to like, I don't really want to put it in like stocks or anything like that, because I don't think it's like that much. I want to invest it like in my business, right? So I'm looking at different ways to advertise and different ways to like 10x, 20x that amount, which is really the only way you can do that is like through your own business. And we can get more into like entrepreneurship later. I kind of got into entrepreneurship 3 years ago and was kind of like a fanboy and kind of like sitting on the sidelines, but now I've actually done like really well at running kind of like my own like brokerage. So that's pretty cool. Like you are who you surround yourself with. What you think about comes about. What you focus on grows. So the time's gonna pass anyway. You might as well like put your mind to it, and like in 2 years from now or 1 year from now or 10 years from now, be where you want to be, because the time's gonna pass anyway, right? This is going on for a while. I kind of want to wrap it up here, and we'll make more videos later. But basically, this is the key. So, envision the amount that you want to make. Think about the feeling of making it. Maybe think about what you want to spend it on specifically. If like there is something that you want to buy or someplace you want to go or whatever it may be. And then the real key trick to having this manifest like quick and actually having it manifest is complete detachment from it actually happening. I know it sounds like fucking weird. Like, well, what do you mean? Like, what's the point of like focusing this? I haven't achieved fame if like I don't actually care if it happens. Because you have to realize that the reason that you want it to happen is to feel good. But like, if you can already feel good now, does it actually even matter if it happens? No. But that's the thing. If you can not care if it happens, it'll come to you just like that. It's like girls, man. Girls are like that. Like, if you really, really want a girl, she doesn't want you, right? But if you don't want a girl, they're all on you, right? So it's the same thing with money. It's a lot of things in life, right? So you gotta want it, but have detachment from it, right? So like, just feel good and just say, hey, I got it. I know it's coming, but if I don't get it, like, it's all good. Like, I already feel great, right? So yeah, I mean, those are kind of like the 5 keys. Just to reiterate, law of attraction, understanding like you create your reality. What you think about comes about. What you focus on grows, right? And then secondly is understanding why you're broke in the first place. It's really subconscious programming, and it all starts from the age of 0 to 7 when your subconscious mind is in an alpha state. We'll go deep into this stuff. I'm all about subconscious mind. You already know. Third is understand that money is spiritual, right? So like money is like a good girl. You know, a good girl is only going to come to you if she knows you're going to take care of her. Money's the same way. So money's only going to come to you if you know it's going to take care of it. What does that mean? Not spending on dumb stuff and finding ways to multiply it, okay? Fourth is deciding, I think we went into the exact amount. And then fifth is like detachment. Might have got a little confused there towards the end, but either way, if you haven't already, smash that like button. There's going to be a lot more videos like this coming soon from me. This is just something I wanted to put out. It's been on my mind for a while. I could go for hours on this stuff, but it's going to be too long. Studies show that like you really shouldn't do stuff like this more than 20 minutes or you really start to lose focus. So really just 2 big things just to nail in. A lot of studies say that you really only take 2 things from this stuff. If anything, what I would take from this video is understanding you create your reality. If you haven't already watched The Secret, go watch it. Super great. And start researching on the law of attraction. You can come back. I'm going to drop more like crazy knowledge on that. Don't worry. And then secondly is just understanding that the reason you want to manifest the desire anyway is to feel good. But if you can feel good, you'll manifest the desire. So that's it for me. Peace out.